Hello guys and welcome back to a new video of the series of video origami, and today we're going to be talking about how some tips and tricks, some things you need to know before you actually start making models. So first of all, I want to show you some tips and things that you would need to do to the piece before you actually start making a model. So last tutorial we learned how to make a piece just like that. And today we're gonna learn how to make the piece better, like that. So you see it has a round shape here. It has kind of like more open pockets. It kind of looks smaller and better than this one. And so now I'm gonna show you how to make this kind of piece. So first, let's start by making the piece kind of smaller. So first, you gotta take a rectangle, normal rectangle. You're gonna fold it this direction, just like that. Unfold, and then you wanna cut it in half. So just cut the crease, and you'd have a smaller rectangle. Now to make the piece, simply follow the same steps you would follow for any other piece you do. Now, I said earlier that you'd have 16 rectangles like this on a paper, and now you'd have 32 rectangles like that on a paper. So these are kind of like the sizes of the rectangles you do in like an A4 paper. So this is 16 from an A4 sheet of paper. That's the size. So 16 pieces or rectangles from an A4 sheet of paper. That's 32. And if you take a 32, fold it in half, and then cut on the crease, then you would have a 64 from an A4 sheet of paper. Now in my models, I'm going to mostly use the 64 and the 32 from A4 sheets of papers models, because these 16 from an A4 sheet of papers is kind of big, and it won't look very nice when doing the models. Anyways, let's get into making the piece have this round shape. So to start off, simply just make the piece just like you would, but do not make the last step. So simply make the piece just like you would normally, and stop here, where you'd have these over here folded. Now, instead of just folding it in half, place your thumb here, and then place one of your fingers on the pockets. Place your other hand on the edges and just fold it. Keep your thumb, and then here on these fingers, just open the pockets, and then you can remove the thumb. So you have something like that. Now you should have made 5 to 6 pieces from the large sized pieces, which is 16 from an A4 sheet of paper. We're gonna need those. So to make the round shape, simply just put that in, just like that. And then with your thumb, you can just insert it in, turn it around, just like that, and then remove the piece, and you'd have a nice round shape, just like this one would have. Now, you cannot also only use your thumb. You could use a pen or a pencil. So simply just put it in again, and then you would want to have something kind of like a pen from the back side. Just simply put it in, start just rounding it like that, just rolling it to create the round shape, and then just stick it off, and you'd have this nice round shape again. Now I always prefer to use my thumb because it's easier and faster always. Now you can also use a pen if you prefer to do that. Now making a 64 from an A4 sheet of paper sized piece, is the same way. So simply just make the piece. Just like that, and then simply just do the same steps. So place the thumb, the finger for the back, and just close it, open the pockets from the back finger, and you'd have something like that. Now for connecting that, you might want to use a 32 from an A4 sheet of paper kind of line, but you can also use the 16 sized. So just put it in. Now if you see that the piece above here is just kind of like not good for connecting, simply just remove it and put it at the bottom part of the line. Then you would have a brand new piece here which you can connect with. Now when you're making 64 from A4 sheet of paper piece, I recommend you use a 32 from A4 sheet of paper piece, like kind of line, to actually just put it in and make the round shape, because it's easier and it's kind of smaller and a little bit kind of like matches its size. Now we have talked about kind of one kind of connecting process, which is just putting the pieces above each other. But there are some more connecting processes that we haven't gone over yet. So the first connecting process that we would often use is simply taking a piece, just like that, and then you want to take the pocket here with that piece, just a pocket here and the edge here, and you want to simply just connect them here. So you should have one empty pocket here and one leftover edge here. And then you would want to take another piece, then place it under this and connect it to the second pocket, and you would have something like that. And so this is how you would make a kind of connection between the pieces. Now when you become to like that, you can just maybe like do a third row, because doing only 2 rows in a model when you're creating a base or something, which we're gonna talk about next video, isn't kind of good, because it will just fall off if you're not putting glue. So just connect it like this from the top, and you'd have like that. Now you can just keep on and on connecting, but this is gonna be left for another tutorial on how to make a kind of circle or a base. Another joining process, another kind of like connecting or joining process between these pieces is an inverted piece. So pieces normally look like this. This is the front side. Now you can turn it into an inverted piece by placing a piece but the opposite side. So simply do the same thing, like do the same connecting method, but just flip the piece and invert it like that. Now we need to use this inverted kind of piece or row down here for some kind of like models, but not now. Now you can also do that on the top of the model, not only the bottom. So you can just take a piece, and instead of connecting it normally, you can just invert it and put it onto it. And it should look like this. Now there are some kind of other connecting techniques, but we're not going to talk about them now, because that's all you need to know for the beginner's level. Now when you start creating models and things, now right now you won't need any of these two things that actually increase the amount or decrease the amount of pieces, but we're going to talk about these later on when we're doing the kind of like intermediate or advanced models. We're going to talk about them. Now another useful tip for doing this or these 3D or connecting like these 3D origami pieces is using glue. Now for gluing the pieces you will need a glue stick. Any type of glue stick would do. I'm going to use the normal glue stick. And so gluing the pieces is simple. So first you want to take the actual piece and you want to just put glue inside of the pockets. Now it should not be very much glue. It could be like only a little bit of glue. It shouldn't be very much. Something like that. And then you want to connect the pieces onto the piece that you put glue on. Just like that. And then if you wait a bit for it to dry, it's gonna be all dried up, and then the model won't fall apart easily.